Hey everyone, this is a very quick video, about 5 minutes, about how to sort of manipulate your drawings with photo editors like Photoshop or Affinity or such. And so it's a quick little run here. So what you'll see me doing at this point is fixing that background. Now, I'm going to do this obsessively. I told you I obsess about this. Um, but you can see here some of the ways that I can actually manipulate the drawing itself. Now, the only challenge here is you can't use layers because you need to work on the layer that is the drawing. So I'm using that smudge pencil um, to sort of bring out some of the stuff, the messiness, and then I'm going back in with the spray feature and sort of softening the edges. And you can even see here, though I will keep going back and forth to it, that it's starting to look a little bit better. It's starting to feel still painterly, not as flat as I sort of feel about these things. And then when I scanned it, it kind of, the color changed, and I didn't quite have as much of the pop, I guess you could say, of color. So I went through and started to play with, some of the green detailing to pop that out a little bit, as well as the coral banding. And using my pencil, just sort of updated not only the little details, but also the trim that goes around it. And as you can see, I'm speeding through this as quickly as possible. It probably took me about 20 minutes or so just to sort of experiment with it all. Now, what I'm using here, and you've probably used this before in one way or another, is a lasso. And the lasso, what that's doing is that is protecting a section of it and using that shape, I guess you could say, to, in another layer, only work from one point. So I've, in a sense, masked the body. See, I'm always working on that shadow. uh, Sort of masking the body so none of that gets changed or dealt with, and using that layer to sort of um, allow me to create that shadow. And I keep going in. So because I erased my sort of ground line there, I went back in, used a ruler, and then I found that the face in its scanning sort of deadened a little bit. The colors didn't quite pop. So I went in with a little bit of some pinks and such, and did, again, a little bit of makeup and such. Now again, when you scan things, when you take pictures of your paintings, they will look different than they do when you're looking at them live. So sometimes there's a stronger contrast in things. Sometimes there's more texture than you see with your human eye. But as we start to look at this, you can see that it is starting to feel um, more as I intended it when I did the drawing. And then kind of what's nice is I can go in and, like, here's a perfect example of the contrast that just happens in the scanner. Oop, mistake. Let's try it again. Nope, still a mistake. Third time the charm. There we go, a little bit better. Oh! As you know, working on a tablet, sometimes when you're trying to zoom in and zoom out, you're using your fingers. It draws the line, but that's why we have that reverse there. And then I'm sort of going in and touching up the legs, giving it a sense there, bringing it up to the same value as the face and the hands. And as I said in my previous video, I do often, because of hosiery and such, make the legs look a little bit different, but I'm starting to bring up those tones. Okay, about a minute left. And I'm trying to sort of get in there and soften some of those textures where that paint sort of hit right there and redefine those lines just a little bit. There we go. And so really when we look at it, I think it looks pretty solid and corrected a lot of those issues that I had from the beginning as far as the shadows. And so here you can see how I've sort of minimized the shadow. It doesn't look much different. It still has some painterly quality. And then you can see the digital rendering that I did as well. So all three versions of it, maybe others coming down the pike, we'll see. And there we are. Okay.